Hi guys, it's Paula here, and I am back this evening to get started finally on my botanical journal, which is going to be my design team project using Vivid Nature. So if you haven't checked out that digital kit over at Love Junk Journals by Tracie Fox, you need to check it out. So it's called Vivid Nature. And I'm going to show you what it looks like real quick. I have showed you this already, but I'm just going to remind you how cute the colors are. Got a lot of lavenders and kind of mauvey colors and blue. So needless to say, greens. Needless to say, the colors I'm going to use are going to be in that family. So pretty much these colors. Now that hasn't been inked and it still looks awfully bright, but I also want to show you what the book is looking like. Now I have not bound the book yet, but I have covered the inside cover of the book. Now when I showed you this book initially, it was white, but since then I found a lavender one I liked a whole lot better. I mean, nobody really wants a white book, do they? Will it stay white? That's just what I'm wondering. So I covered the inside paper, which was lavender. It was just a lot of lavender, but I used the combination of colors that are in the kit on the book. So, and again, there's blue. So I thought that was a pretty inside for the book. And then the cover, I've shown you that. It's going to be 2 signatures. Here is the cover for the book. Now it's all shabby looking right now. Let's see, let's turn it around and see if it looks better. Nope. But you get the point. Here, let me hold it like this. So that's going to be the book binding. Okay, now that's ready to go on as soon as I can get all the papers ready and everything else that needs to be done. But first, I want to show you something I received in the mail last week and just was sick and wasn't able to show you guys, but I got my official first Happy Mail. And I only say that because it says Happy Mail. But anyway, this is from my friend Christy over at OohlalaCrafts. And I know you guys have heard me talk about her many, many times. She has the most beautiful fabrics, trims, lace, ribbon. I mean, you name it. She's got it. And she sent me in this Happy Mail, I guess, something new that she's carrying right now. So, I'm going to open it up. I have seen it. I think Christy heard me talking about, I was telling you guys that I could not find any books on the market that would come back to me without having shiny pages, and they were too current looking. They look like, you know, something that was made today. And most of the ones you find in vintage shops are. If you want to order these specialty books, you have to order out and about. And I'll tell you, I've returned at least 2, if not 3, of these books. Not this book, but books that come to me, and they're all shiny and glossy, and I don't care what the year is on the book, but they don't show you pictures when you order from Amazon or order from a lot of different book industry. So when you get the book, you just have to decide, okay, do I like that book? Do I want to keep that book? Well, no, it's shining and looks like a mirror. It's very glossy, and I prefer using real floral in a botanical book, but it's not always easy if you can't find the papers. And my friend Christy must have heard me talking about it to all my subbies, and she sent me these beautiful images. And I will tell you right now, they're big. Look at them. They're giant. Let me tell you how big it is. It is 13 by 10. And she did send me 10 images. I'm going to move this trimmer for a minute. And so I like to tear my flowers, and I like to make them, put them on the sides of the book, and, you know, just do all kinds of stuff with them. And it's hard sometimes when you don't have the right prints to do that. But I love this because it's like a lot of different ones. I mean, like, you don't have just one thing to choose from, although I think this is all in the same family. But here is page 1, and I will tell you, I discovered today that she does carry these prints in her Etsy shop, which is OohlalaCrafts, and I'll link it below. Not only does she sell all the beautiful trims, but she also sells some of these pages. Now, I don't know how long she'll have them, you know. It's kind of like when the book runs out, the pages run out, unless she's got numerous books. Now, here is some other really pretty ones. Look at these pink. I am just very pleased with my Happy Mail. And I know it's going to make my book even that much prettier. I'm going to show you all these. I've already looked at them and looked at them and looked at them. Look at this. This is one of my favorite. Look, how pretty is that? And see, this would be really pretty here, torn, and so would this one on the side of the book to make tucks and so forth. Look at this. And could these not be more perfect for the book? It's lavenders and pinks and blues. And so, yeah, I love them. And I appreciate them so much, Christy. Thank you for thinking of me and reading my mind or hearing me complain that I needed them really bad. But I couldn't appreciate it more. So, yeah, now here's another, a golden yellow kind of orange. I don't know what this one is, but it's cool, isn't it? All these sweet images. Love, love it. I was so happy when I pulled this out of the package. The first day I wasn't feeling great, and I pulled it out of the package, and I was like, ah, you know, someone heard me out there. Look at this. Beautiful. That is beautiful. I don't have the name right in front of me. There, some of the writing still on the back of the book pages, so I'll have to read on it. And if I end up knowing the name of it, then I'll probably type it and put it next to the image. So, if you are in need of some non-glossy book pages like this, you need to go over to OohlalaCrafts and get Christy to send you some after you pay for them, that is. And you won't be able to leave there with just her prints, because she does have beautiful trims. And I use them myself. And, you know, I always seem to have a basket on Etsy full of which ones I want to get next. But I will be using these. You will see me use these in this book with the Vivid Nature digital kit for my design team project. So, I guess we can move along, and I can't wait to start playing with those. I have so many stacks over here on my side table. I cleaned it. I had it all cleaned off. Well, it's never cleaned off. There's always stuff on it, but I had it cleaned off pretty well from you know, just making the biggest mess in the world this week or last week. And you know, I try to clean up as I go along. I know you guys probably do the same thing, but it's hard, especially when you don't feel well, and I didn't last week. I had that stomach bug, and oh my goodness. Okay, so the book that I'm using, the lavender book that I'm using, is 8.5 by 5 1/4 in size. I'm going to do a, I just had the spine here. I'm thinking it's an 1.5 inch spine. Yes, 1.5 inch wide spine in this book. And so now we've got to cut the papers 8 1/4 by 5. So I'm just making sure, you know, these are going to be this is the biggest size you can make these. So they'll be a little smaller, but I'll be mixing it in with all kinds of good stuff and some of the scrapbook paper as well. So we have 8 sheets of for the digital paper, and that's going to be great. So I'm going to set those aside while we work on everything else that we need. Now, some of this, let's see, until I've cut this a few times, I have to keep looking back. 8 1/4 by 5. Let's see, let me make sure. 8 1/4 by 5. Just put a new blade in, so maybe maybe we'll get lucky that it will stay sharp through all the pages being cut down. Now I think I'm going to separate these into two signatures. And I think I already have them in order of how I wanted to do that. I'm not sure, to be quite honest. Nope, they're not. I think I want to do that one as the front sheet. And I may change these off and on through the whole thing. There we go. I love this. I just love it. And I love that not only is it a botanical book, but it's going to have butterflies, bees, you know, different bugs, snails. It even has a frog in here somewhere. So it's nature, if you want to get down to it. That is what it is called, vivid nature. So that can be a combination of a whole lot of different things. So we're going to put this first page. We really need, this is what we really need to do. We need to stack the pages in like we want them, the digitals. And then as we go along, we will start putting things in it. It's either going to be that way, or we're going to have to wait and do it all at the end. And I'm just thinking doing it as you go is a whole lot easier. And maybe we'll get through all of this before the video runs out of time. Okay, so this is going to be signature 1. So let's just go ahead and put this old vintage photo paper in. Let's just put it in the second signature. How's that? Or maybe a signature that has the same color. I think I'm going to do it right here. And we'll just go like that and do it as we go along here. Now, let's see how tall this one is. This is a parchment, but we're going to need to cut it at 8 1/4 and by 5. And this one will go in the second signature. So I'm kind of doing like, and see, it looks really good with that. I'm doing like a page for, you know, I'm doing 2 pages and making a choice on which one goes where. So those two have their first page. Now let's move on to, I want to find some that's not just the tea stain to work with. Move those over for a minute. I forgot to get just the plain tea stain paper out. So you know what that means. I'll be digging for it. Okay, so this thing is driving me crazy, so let's just get rid of it. Toss it somewhere. It'll show up sooner or later. Okay, so now I have this beautiful printer paper, which is like a stationery. Gonna fold it, and I think what I'm gonna do is fold most of these type in half, and then we'll cut them as we go. Hope you guys are having a great Friday. It's always nice when it's Friday, isn't it? Always puts you in a much better mood. That one is the right size already, so we can just find a place it looks good. Let's find the most color. Now we are going to have pages that don't have, you know, colors that aren't in the book, but that's okay. This is a junk journal, and that we just put that one in the third signature. Okay, let's put this as the other one I have. And see, it's different colors. So I try not to just do matchy-matchy. You know, it's not really what I do if I don't have to. If I'm not in a position that I need to. Like, you know, I probably would have been better off in that situation right there to be matchy-matchy. But I'm not going to let it influence me one way or the other. Let's see. Fold these straight as you can. Now, my scrapbook paper is not tea stained, but I will ink anything that's not tea stained. Okay, there's that one. Now we need to cut it at 8 1/4, which is perfect because that's what it is. Okay, we're going to go back here to this one. We did one in signature 1. Let's go over here. Well, maybe we need to do this one in signature 2. Okay. I'm going to do one more and put into the signature, and then I'm going to wait until the end. I think it slows us down. We don't need anything to slow us down, right? 8 1/4. Gonna trim off a little bit of these tabs. Okay. 5 is what I need, is 5. Okay. Okay, this is going to go into the other one in the second signature, or the second page, I mean. And somehow my page isn't in there right. What's the deal? Hey, what's the deal? Here it is, right there. And I always go through and make sure all my pages remain the same. Now I'm going to set these aside, and I think what we're going to do is just cut. Cut, cut, cut. Now, some of this is grungier than others, but I wanted to use them. So I want the birds in here because you can't have nature without the birds, right? And so I'm going to fold this as far over as I can. I don't want to trim off the bird side. If I don't have to, I might a little bit. Okay. And I don't want to cut off the bird, but it's going to happen. Nothing I can do about it, but not too bad, right? Now, one of them's going to lose something, and I don't want it to be this one losing its head. So I'm going to trim down as far as I can to keep from cutting off anybody's chopper. And look, it worked out perfect. Yeah, and I have a second one like that, so let's do the same thing. I want it to come out the same way. Get that all folded. Got a new blade in here. It's my favorite thing to do is to have a new blade. Now this one I didn't fold over as far. So so I am going to move it on over a little bit. I want them to be as close to the same as possible. That'd be better. Okay, now, I didn't want one of them to have rounded corners and the other to not have rounded corners. I just think it'll look better if we don't have it look like that. Okay, take this little bit off the top. I'm going to fix the closure on my Flutter book, which is the butterfly book, this weekend, so be on the watch for that. I'm making sure, checking myself out here to make sure I'm cutting things the right size. Okay, there's the birds. Now we're going to do this butterfly paper. This is going to be really pretty with this color scheme. I mean, I never thought about doing a lavender book, but I'm glad that we're having that opportunity because I think lavender is really pretty. And if you're someone that loves lavender, you need to be watching close. Okay, now let's make sure we got the right size here. Okay, so I'm trying to decide how much I want to cut off each side. Let's do like that. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. Well, it looks like just a little bit. Okay. Okay. Now, I use a lot of planning paper and stuff like that. I just like it. I like that it gives a lot of places to make notes and a lot of places to journal. So I don't know if you've looked into doing that or not, but it is, it really is a good journaling page. I do use also a lot, you know, I try to use vintage stuff in my books as well. Okay, let me just move that up a little bit and then I'll trim some off the other side as well. And let's see. Well, maybe I won't. That looks like it's perfect. You know, I don't think I have ever tea stained and had any one page turn out the same. I don't know if you guys have noticed that issue, but yeah, you just don't know what you're going to end up with. Okay, so I tea stain like Wendy does from I like the way she tea stains. She lays it out and she uses a brush and she just brushes it. And the reason is as you get older, it's hard to keep bending down into the oven and pulling stuff out and putting stuff in and pulling it out and putting it back in. And this way, I turn on my ceiling fan and I just go at it. I brush one side, let it dry. I flip it over, brush the other side, let it dry. It goes really fast. You just have to stay on top of it. And so, you know, I use tea and coffee. So if I feel like my tea is just not getting dark enough, I'll add a little bit of instant coffee to it. Now, I have my own way of doing things. I think the pages look as good as they did when I put them in the oven. Now, they don't have that crunchy sound, which, you know, every once in a while I will be putting some in the oven, but only probably until my husband retires. After he retires, I'll get him to kind of help me with that. If he can do the oven portion, although his back's not that great, we're just two old people falling apart as we get older. No, he's in good health, and so he's going to be my partner in crime. He's going to retire in March, so we don't have that far off to go, and we are looking forward to it. He's going to retire, and we're going to go on a big vacation right afterwards. We've been planning with our planner to make sure we have a vacation once a year, a nice vacation, you know, not going to Branson or something. I just tore that, and I'm just going to go ahead and trim it because it'll look better. I'm getting all these little pieces are flying all over the place. Static electricity can be a bummer. Okay. Lay down. There we go. I'm going to empty that into the trash can real quick because it is blocking the cutting area. There we go. That's strange, huh? Okay, now of course you can't have a journal without a little bit of ledger in there, right? And so I'm going to put some ledger paper. Okay. Now I need 8 1/4, which is right there. And 5. I tell you, these lights I have are so hot. And I don't understand it because they haven't been bothering me until recently. It may be the position I have them in now. Whew. I tried to get it where, you know, it wouldn't make a glare on my desk. And so it's not as easy as you might think. Okay, I'm going to turn on the fan. Excuse me. It just makes a huge difference. All right, so now we're going to, well, we're almost down to the smaller paper. We have this one here, which also I want to get right at 5 on one side, and then I can cut off this shaggy top, which will be a nuisance in a journal. Let's see if I got it right. We'll see. Okay, so we want it to be 5 wide. Yes. Got rid of that big shaggy portion. And we want to make sure that's the right. Now we want to cut the length off here. 8 1/4. We're just having to take a little bit off these papers, which is nice. Okay. Let's get that on there. I think I'm a little tiny bit off. Let me make sure I got it straight. Yeah, that's better. Okay, there. Now, all these small ones obviously are going to be the right size. So we're just going to get them folded and put in a stack over here. Okay. Okay. Well, Sadie had her 1-year-old birthday, and so she's a big girl now. And I've really noticed a difference in how she behaves. You know, she just acts older, behaves older. She still has that play in her that I hope never goes away. But, yeah, she's just an angel. She's got to go to the vet tomorrow for her 1-year checkup. And, I bought her a new collar today. It's pink with little diamonds all over it. Because you know diamonds are a girl's best friend. She got a new toy for her birthday that she can tear to 1,000,000 pieces. Oh my goodness, she has gone through toy after toy. She'll eat their head and arm off, or nose, whatever, and stuffing starts coming out. So then I thought, well, I'll just buy cheaper ones if they're not going to last any longer than that when I pay $8 for them. Well, that was kind of a joke, because she still devoured them just as fast. And so I was at Walmart today picking up some glue and so forth, and this little lady was at all the dog toys, and I was looking at the collars, and then I went over to the dog toys, and I said to her, I hope I have not been off camera this whole time, guys. If I have, I am so sorry. Anyway, I said, oh my goodness, do these puppies go through toys or what? And I said, mine eats them up. And she said, she goes, well, our children did, and they got new toys. And I said, well, my husband don't like spending, you know, $20 a month on toys. And she goes, well, our children got all this stuff, you know. And I'm thinking, lady, you are in love with your dog. I mean, we love our dog, don't get me wrong, but you do have your limits, you know. Or at least we do. She is not lacking for toys, that is for sure. And she loves them. Listen, we put socks inside socks, and she will just have the best time playing with those socks. She's a mess. This is some old Creative Memories paper from when I sold Creative Memories. Boy, is that old. Okay, let me get this folded up. I think we're getting real close to the paper portion, and then we will do some music sheets. Mrs. Holt, excuse me, my nose is, I think somebody, what is it you used to say? I think someone's coming. My nose is itching. If your palm is itching, you're going to come into money, or is it you're going to get money if your nose is itching? I don't know. I don't know, but I've heard that before. So I've also got some Edith Holden I want to put in here. Let me get that. Sitting over here with a bunch of books on top of it, because I have managed to destroy the place in this small amount of time. Okay, let me see. I have some already pulled out of the book. Let's see what this is. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? I really wanted to try, and I think I was saving these for my vintage, or my botanical book. I don't know what this other stuff is. Not going to worry about it right now, but let's look for some Edith Holden that might have a variety of creatures in it. Plants and bugs. There's some fireflies on that one. I don't know if you guys have an Edith Holden book, but it's so worth your money. Oh, look at these little birds. And it is June. But I'm saving these birds because I'm going to be doing a bird book next. That will be my next book. I found an old vintage book with a bird on the front of the book. And I was thrilled to find it. Let's see, that one is a bird page also. I'm wanting some with butterflies. This one would be good because it has 3 butterflies. Let's just hold on to it. And ooh, we don't want the snakes. We'll pass on the snakes. This lavender would be really pretty in there. And look, there's the butterfly. This one is going in there for sure. That's lavender too, and some yellow, but I'm thinking to myself, oh, I love this pink. I think I want to do the pink. And we'll just fold them in half that way. And let me see if I can get these back in the stack they were in. I managed to find about, let's see, 3 of these books when I bought mine. And I just went ahead and, oops, that's the wrong folder. Goodness. It's pretty sad when you have so much on and around your desk that you don't know what you're picking up. Okay. So, I take good care of this. I went ahead and took it all out of the book so that, you know, I'd always be able to access it pretty quick. Okay, so now we'll do this one like this. And I think these are going to be just the right size. I don't think we're going to have to cut them down is what I mean now. They're going to be shorter and not as wide. Okay, so there's those. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want for us to cut the papers. The papers that are the cardstock papers that we're going to use in the book. I'm going to move some of this trash because it is everywhere and my fan is blowing it, which means I'll be crawling on my hands picking it up later. That just cracks me up because that's not going to happen either. Okay, so let's do these 2 first. I'm going to trim off the branding strip on both of these. And both pages are going to have the same papers because I like them. And I don't know exactly how many I'm going to put to a page yet. Okay, so I want them to be striped just like this. Let's see. Now this is going to be 6, so I'm going to need 10. Is what I'm going to need the paper to be. Let me look at my measurements before I cut. I always hate to cut until I know for sure. Can you guys see okay? Okay. And I keep all my scraps. Let's see, that is the width. So now we need to go ahead and fold it in half. And then I can, well, wait a minute, I don't want to do that. I think I'm going to do like this. Okay, that was the width. Oh my goodness. Okay, now the height is 8 1/4. I knew. I was looking at the measurements backwards. I was wanting to be careful. Okay, now we will fold them nice and square. Now this is going to be the center of the signature, so we'll be folding it the opposite way. I just thought it made a pretty center. Okay, and of course this is the perfect green for this kit. On this side, I'll show you what I mean. How perfect is that? Just kills me that I found this paper pad that was so perfect. Okay, and this one's going to be done the same way. So we want it to be 8 1/4. I'm going to go ahead and do that first, and then it's going to be 10. And I wonder if I cut those the same way. It looks like we lost any green that was on them. Yeah, I did. And so again, this is going to be turned in and instead of out. Okay. Alrighty, those are done. And now I'm going to bring the others over, and we're just going to get with it here. Get these cut. Take off the branding strip, come down and do 8 1/4 by 10. And I'm going to fold them all when we're done here. I do have these in the same order as well. Take off this branding strip. Okay, 8 1/4 by 10. Okay, and then cut the branding strip off of this. 8 1/4 by 10. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fold this one. We got the first set done, so I thought we could just fold those. And this one. Okay, so it's going to go like that. And then this is going to go inside for the center signature, just like that. And the last one is going to be the front. Now, I may switch a couple around, have one for the front on one, and you know, it's all right if they're a little different. That way both books, I don't know, I'll have to think on that. I will have to think on that. So there's the first pack. Now we need to do the second pack. Okay. Doing the same thing with these 3 sheets. And let's see, we'll do 8 1/4. I'm going to do a video, I think, tomorrow. If not tomorrow, in the next day or two, I'm going to be putting some things in my Etsy shop. Some of my collages and some of the things that we've done together in videos that, you know, because I put stuff in my shop and then it's empty. And I don't want you guys to think that I'm not selling anything or have anything available for you. I just, you know, haven't, you know, it seems like I put it in and it's gone. So that's a good thing. But I like to have stuff in there if someone goes searching. So I need to make a batch of traveler's notebooks because people like those a lot too. And they're not quite as expensive, and a lot of people love them, myself included. Okay. And we got one more to cut here. All right. Eight and a quarter. And 10. All right. Okay. My plan is to bind the book tomorrow, so we can have that done. And here is the inside of that one. Now, I think, whoops, my papers are falling everywhere. I think what we're going to do is combine our signatures with these. Now, I probably will start it with this because it's taller, where this one is shorter, so I'm going to put it right there. Okay, you see what I'm saying? Even though I haven't trimmed the width down on the digitals yet, and I will do that, just not what I plan to do during this video. Okay, so then the next page is going to be the bluish lavenderish bluish lavenderish. Okay, and I'm putting as many digitals as I am cardstock as far as pages go, and that way we will have an equal amount. And when we get to this, that's going to be the center. So we have the first one done, and now we have this second one. So let's start with this, put this in, which is perfect. Look at that. Perfect. And then here we have some blue, which is perfect for this as well. And we have some greenish kind of color. And then we have this. Okay, so now I'm going to move my trimmer over so we can start putting these two signatures together. Let's do our Edith Holden. I love this lavender. Mercy, it's so pretty. So I want to make sure it kind of coordinates with another lavender in the book, which is going to be this front page. So I'm going to put it right there. Okay, so this one is also going to go, that would be putting it upside down. So this has got to go this way. Okay. All right. And now we just start feeding the prettiness, or the next prettiness, through. And I want to put this next to something lavender too. it's not really going to matter, but I'm going to put it up against in front of the very last page. Front of the very last, I'm going to make sure you guys can see. I'm sorry if you have not been able to see. I'm going to be so upset with myself. I normally watch it so closely. Let's see. Yeah. Let's put it right here. Okay. And let's go with some stripe paper. Let's do this one in front of this one. And I think I had a different one over here. Yeah, that's the second one. Okay, so it's behind and in front of. Okay, right here. We'll do a ledger. Let's see. Let's put the ledger over this way. Let's do it in front of that. I hope we're not running out of time, guys. I'll get frowned at. We might have enough time just to finish this part. Okay, let's do the birds. Where, oh where do we want to put the birds? Let's put the birds in front of this pink cardstock. Right there. Of course, I don't have the tea stain paper out yet, but I will. Let's see, where do we want to put this one at? I like that there. It's hard to decide. Start finding yourself questioning what you're doing. Let's see. Let's put it right here. In front of the blue. Put this one in front of the blue. Gotta find it first. Right there. I'll be adding music sheet, dictionary sheet, and so forth to this book as well. Okay, let me see where we're lacking stuff. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Tomorrow, you know, my thing I do on Saturdays, I'm going to go behind the ledger. Tomorrow I am going to, you know, do some vintage shopping. I always kind of that's my thing. Today I went to Walmart and was in there forever and thought I was going to kill myself in there. I was so tired when I got out. I'm like, oh my goodness, how many circles did I make in this store? I don't know, but it was a lot. Needless to say, it was a lot. Okay, now we're going to go down to the smaller papers and we'll put them in. Oh, wait a minute, we still have one more big one. I don't know where I ended up putting that. Let's put it, it's hard. Let's put it right there. Nope, I want to put it in front of the butterflies. Okay. And we'll put this one in front of the butterflies if I can find them. There they are. Okay, and now we put the smaller pieces in. Let's start with this notes. Okay, I like that. So let's put it here, right behind the parchment paper. Okay, Now, what did I do with the parchment paper? Thought it was closer to the front. There it is. Right here. Now, as I go along, I will be adding more and more different things in here, of course. Let's do it right here. I do have a tendency to shop around for my papers so that you don't get just any kind of paper. I try not to use all rotten paper, you know. I like to make it where it, you know, will hold up. I think those of you that have purchased from me before can vouch for that, huh? I'm going to put this in front of the Creative Memories paper. Okay, right here. Okay, and then we have one more like this. Let's see, let's put it in. No, I don't want to put it there. I want to put it, it's hard. It's hard to decide. Let's put it in front of the ledger. For now, if we want to change it, we can always change it. Nothing is in stone until you put it in stone, which means if you put it in if you bind your book, it's there. It is going to be there for the long haul. Okay, now I'm just going to flip and find a place. Oh, I want to put this there, so let's put this one over here. It's going to be not in front of the ledger, but oh, okay. It's going to be right there, and this one's going to be right here. Now, when I put these in, I do move these up and down in different positions, and I will have some fold out pages, but I usually do that in my my tea stained paper. So okay, this one's going to go in front of the birds. And this one says, girls just want to have fun. And that's true, right? I always like to throw one of those in until they're run out, and then I'll have to come up with something different. Okay, so these are the two signatures so far for a book, and I'll have to go in here and trim off some of these. They're too wide. And I've got all my scraps right here, and I've got some journaling cards over here. I haven't got those ready yet. And then I'll after I have the book bound, then we'll decorate it together. And so what will happen is I will take a lot of these and I will make them into pockets, okay? And they will end up looking fabulous. So don't forget to go over and check out Christy's floral sheets. There's 10 to a order, I believe. And while you're there, check out her lace and her trims and all the goodies that she has. She has farms, she has flowers, she has veggies. I mean, I can't even tell you all, there's so many. So I will link her below in this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. And I don't know what's going to be the next step, but I'll surprise you. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.